And now it's time for everybody's favorite game show.
What's that poem even mean?
Hello and welcome to another edition of What Does That Poem Even Mean? The only show on the internet where we listen to poems written by real poets and then ask the essential question, huh? I'm your host, Quip Winkle. And yes, it's true. My mother did name me that, and I was bullied all the way through game show hosting school because of it. But enough about me. Let's get down to business. Or as Shakespeare famously said, here are the rules to the game show. On the board are 5 categories. The moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour. Blues with a feeling, that's what I have today. I found myself laughing inappropriately again. They whisked me up and took me in, and it would become the thing he clutched. Contestants will choose a category and also a numerical value up to 400 points. They will then be forced to sit through an original poem by our esteemed panel of poets, the Poetry Crashers from Nevada County, California. We have Ree Winders, Chris Olander, Alex Henderson, Michael Clarity, and Julie Valin. Hello, Poetry Crashers. At the end of each poem, the contestants must answer the age-old question, what does that poem even mean? A correct answer will add points to their overall score, and an incorrect answer will subtract the same amount. So beware, players. The higher the value, the higher the risk. Or as Shakespeare famously said, don't play the game like a dummy. Speaking of not dummies, let's say hello to our contestants. She's a professor of literature and a mother of one from Austin, Texas. It's Offred Rhyme. He's a massage therapist and a meditation teacher from Babylon, New York. It's Ernie McLeady. And he's a librarian from Nevada City, California. Say hello to Major Dude. Well, it's nice to have you all here. Tell me, Offred, it says here, you were involved in, quote, nothing very interesting in high school. Can you please tell us more?
I don't think it would be very interesting to elaborate on that.
Yes, you're correct. And that was not very interesting also. But before we begin the game, please answer me this. Walt Whitman plays one-on-one basketball against E.E. Cummings, both riding on penny slot cows. Who winds up in jail?
Oh, who winds up in jail? I'm going to go with Walt Whitman. I think Walt Whitman always winds up in jail.
Well, that seems quite a plausible answer, but I'm sorry, the correct answer was the basketball. Why? Because it was caught smoking marijuana in Alabama.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
All right, Offred. The board is yours. Please choose a poetry category and your wager.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with it would become the thing he clutched for 100.
Oh, and look who it is. He's a reality TV star with his own hit show, Survivor, Escape from Poetry Island. It's Michael Clarity. How are you today, Clarity? And how does it feel to finally be off the island?
Feels great. Unfortunately, I went from one island to another, so now I'm figuring out how to get off of this one. It's just perpetual game shows over on this island.
Yes, I understand. You know, the other day I ran into your evil twin brother, Michael Obscurity. Ha ha ha! I couldn't understand a word he was saying. No, but seriously, that's just a little joke between me and the voices in my head. Now, Clarity, can you please read to us your poem in the category of It Would Become the Thing He Clutched for 100?
It would become the thing he clutched closest to his chest, like an amulet or sigil, with its meaning tucked, kept only for the seer who, like current, moves on waves of instinct alone, finds home in the dark and narrow, if only for some momentary passage. The light in the distance, they hint at home, faded from the cold porch of swollen bone and sinking heart. So many passages have crossed this beam and bolt of open throat. On this night, his mind, his only thought of lungs and plunge, steps back immediately and leaves the rest for a new ghost, for one that will linger longer.
Thank you, Clarity. Now, Alfred, it's up to you. Tell us. Did that poem mean A, the man who decides not to jump off a bridge? B, the night he got really drunk and shaved his chest hair? C, time as your best friend? Or D, the toll booth scene from The Godfather?
I don't think you can go wrong with time as your best friend. I think I'm going to go with C.
She's going with C. Clarity, what's the true answer?
She's going with C. That is the first letter of my name. That is consistent, and unfortunately, that is the only consistency. It is A, the man who decides to not jump off the bridge.
Oh, that's such a fun story. All right, Alfred. Unfortunately, that means you lose 100 points. All right, next we have Ernie McLeavy. It says here, Ernie, that your favorite poet is pizza and that your favorite food is George Wallace. Tell me the truth. Please be honest with me. Did I get that mixed up?
No, man, that's actually right on point. I'm surprised. Yeah. My favorite poet is pizza. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Wonderful. That's so good. I thought maybe I'd messed up. Did I mention that I came in 19th in my class in game show hosting school?
That's very hard to believe, Quip. You're on point.
Well, thank you. Now, here's the question for you, Ernie. Mary Oliver gets in a boxing match with Sylvia Plath. Who wins in how many rounds, and what song is playing on the jukebox?
I'm gonna guess there's something by The Cure playing on the jukebox, and I think they both lose.
Oh. Sounds like you may have done your research. But unfortunately, the answer we were looking for was Mrs. White in the conservatory with the candlestick.
Oh my God, come on.
No, you're right. That doesn't sound right. But anyways, now here's your chance to win some real points. The board is yours, Ernie. Please choose your poetry category and your wager.
I'm gonna go I found myself laughing inappropriately again for 200.
All right. And we have once again Michael Clarity.
Yeah.
You're up on the board. Could you please read us your poem in the category of I found myself laughing inappropriately again?
Found myself laughing inappropriately again. I found myself laughing inappropriately again when the waiter asked me if I was ready to order. I asked what kind of cheese they use on their disco fries, and I looked up and discovered that the waiter wasn't a waiter at all. He was a doctor, and I was his nurse, and there was a man with an open chest cavity lying still as cement on the table below me, the involuntary pulsing of his throbbing organs, the only sign of life among the crimson gore leaking from his insides to his blood-soaked gown, forming a pool of warm, deep ruby on the floor. My hands, wrists deep in his guts, tearing at his still beating innards with my bare hands as the doctor screamed, "My God, what have you done?" and lunged toward me, pulling my hands from inside this dissected torso of an unknown man while I shouted in response, "What kind of fucking cheese do you use on your goddamn disco fries?"
Thank you, Clarity, for that wonderful poem. Now, Ernie, is that about A, something really dark that just came out of me? B, oops, beamed into the wrong body? C, eating a jelly donut from the perspective of said jelly donut? Or D, a secret desire to be a gluttonous nurse?
I'm going to go with A, something really dark that just came out of me.
You're going to go with A. Clarity. Could you give us the real answer?
Well, they say A is the alpha. And I don't really know what they mean when they say that. But when Ernie says it, he's absolutely right.
Yeah!
Ernie, you've earned yourself 200 points.
Very dark.
Ernie, killing it.
We're proud of you, Ernie.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And now, up to bat is Major Dude. Major, it says here that you're a librarian. Maybe you can clear something up for me. Why is it that Dewey gets his own decimal system while Huey and Louie get nothing?
Wow, I've got absolutely nothing for that.
That's very embarrassing.
It's very, very embarrassing.
That's very good as well.
Very embarrassing.
Riddle me this.
Decimal system, what's the point?
Thank you very much, Alex Henderson. Riddle me this, dude. T.S. Eliot, Pablo Neruda, and Dylan Thomas all get into a fight with the Backstreet Boys. Tell me, who ends up with more YouTube likes?
Backstreet Boys, 100%.
Backstreet Boys, he says. Do any of the Crashers want to weigh in on this one?
Oh.
Well, I'm a New Kids on the Block guy myself, so.
I'm a Dylan Thomas guy, so.
Oh.
I'm into Pablo Neruda because he's off the block.
All right. They all seem like likely scenarios, but I'm sorry, the true answer is I win. Me, Quip Winkle. Please visit YouTube/Quip Winkle, where you can see many hilarious videos of people crashing on bicycles. Ha 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 ha! I just can't get enough of broken teeth.
Do you have any cats, like kittens?
All right. Major Dude, the board is yours. Can you please choose a category and your wager?
Sure, I'm going to go with Blues with a Feeling. That's what I have today for 100, Quip.
All right. It's... Oh, look who it is. She's a 9 on the Enneagram, but she's a 10 in my heart. It's Julie Valin. Julie, you know, the other day I was sitting at home thinking to myself, I wish there was a poem out there that mentioned the word Hefeweizen. And then I remembered, hey, Julie Valin did that. And then I thought, you know, it's too bad I don't like poetry.
Yes, I do have a catalog of poems with Hefeweizen. Yep. Yeah, just come to me next time.
And we love them, and we love you for it. Julie, tell me, can you please read us your poem in the category of Blues with a Feeling? That's what I have today.
Why, certainly. Blues with a Feeling, that's what I have today. The sky is dark and hovering low, and the cold steel wind makes the bare branches wave, bye-bye, baby, bye-bye. Everything's gone, nothing to face what's brewing except me and the sleeping dog, and this old beer snuck from the back of the fridge. My own blues, my own flat notes and rises, a song in the wind chimes. The sad and hopeful harmonica of my memory, never taken out and played, now dusted off as the clouds beat raindrops down, my lips humming in its teeth, singing, ain't nobody left but... Ain't nobody left me but myself. Ain't nobody left me but myself.
Well, thank you, Julie. That was wonderful. Tell us, Major, is that poem about A, the morning after my hot night with NSYNC the entire band. B, the storm is brewing depression. C, losing yourself and trying to find your way back. Or D, Little Walter is reincarnated as wind chimes.
Right, I'm going to go with letter D here. Little Walter is reincarnated as wind chimes.
That's very confusing. I don't understand it. Julie, is he correct?
Hence the title of the game show, honey. Yes, I love D. It's near and dear to my heart, Little Walter. But sorry, Major Dude. It's C, losing yourself and trying to find your way back.
Oh, yes. Isn't that just the way of it? Major, I'm sorry. You lose 100 points. You're in the negative. But you will come back. I'm sure of it. Let's come back around to Offred Rhyme. Offred, would you please use your category and your wager?
Sure. Let's go with the moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour. For 100.
For 100.
Oh, someone remembered me.
Look who it is.
He was Nevada County Poet Laureate for 2 straight years. It's Molly Fisk. No, I'm sorry, wait. I read that wrong.
Already he's forgotten me.
Hey, Chris, I'm impressed. Poet Laureate. I hear there's real money in that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's out there in the stars in the galaxy, if you can find it.
Yes, well, we'll be looking for that tonight. Chris, can you please read us your poem in the category of The Moon Rose Up Over the Hills at a Ghostly Hour?
Oh, I feel so honored here that I'm able to read my poem over the internet, and here it goes. The moon rose up over the pine ridge at a ghostly hour. I stepped outside over broken stones, breezed my way down the slippery slope sludge, skipping over the silvery ripples, reflecting from the surface like stars. More memories echoing my fate is the howling night. Creatures descend my spine, misgivings of a first response. My fingers flexing for answers, swimming the mirror surface. Why me?
Why you indeed? Yes, Chris, thank you for that exceptional reading. Alfred, is that poem about A, misery at Waterworld, B, memory and regrets, C, not being able to grasp what you want, or D, get out of the house?
Well, I think D makes a lot of sense right now. We're all wanting to get out of the house, but there was some misgivings, there were some regrets. So I'm going to go with B, memory and regrets.
All right, Alfred chooses B. Chris, can you let us know what the real answer is?
Oh, you should have gone with your first feelings. You're always supposed to go with your first feelings, but I'm sorry, it is D. Get out of the house.
D. Get out of the house. I'm sorry, Alfred. That means you lose some points.
How many?
All right.
We don't know. Oh, 100.
We are moving on to Ernie. The board is yours.
I'm going to go with, I found myself laughing inappropriately again for 400.
All right, he's pulling out the big guns.
400?
Once again,
Me again.
Hollander.
Chris, we just can't seem to get enough of you. Could you please read your poem in the category of I found myself laughing inappropriately again for 400?
I feel so loved. So loved tonight. Lost
You're
of
loved every
space.
night.
Here we go. The poem, I found myself laughing inappropriately again, sprawled on the golden leaves among falling snowflakes in November's third storm. Too stoned to find my way back to that table of debts, where gaunt guests enjoy swallowing their Thanksgiving's final meal. The body, sizzling on the coals, encircled by survivors prepared for the final say, cooked in ideals of family pride. But I pitchfork its carcass, heave it upon the pedestal of traditional butchery, down to the last slice. The guests' drooling hunger for more.
Wow. Thank you once again, Chris. That was amazing.
Ernie, you want to go to the Family Pride restaurant he's talking about.
It most certainly does. Ernie, please tell us this. Is that poem about A, death of a dream, birth of a nightmare? B, winning the West? C, Donner Party? I thought the invitation said dinner party. Or D, just another trip to the Jack in the Box?
Man, those are all great answers. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Death of a Dream, Birth of a Nightmare. A.
Death of a Dream, Birth of a Nightmare, Chris. Is Ernie correct for 400 points?
Oh, Ernie.
You're lying. You're lying, Chris.
You should have gone with your second thought. B, winning the West.
Damn it.
Winning the West and losing the East, apparently. That means you lose 400 points. You're down to minus 200. We're moving on. Major Dude, you are up. And please choose your category and your wager.
Sure thing. They whisked me up and took me in for 200, please.
For 200, we have... Oh, and look who it is. He's an armchair punster and an amateur funster. It's Alex Henderson. Alex, you know, it's so wonderful to see your face so rugged and handsome, like an old-time Hollywood leading man. Tell me, we all want to know, do you moisturize, and what's your recipe?
I moisturize, I pasteurize, I sympathize, all of those things.
All the I's.
All the I's. I see your eyes. I raise you 2 eyes.
That's wonderful. Are you prepared to read us your poem in the category of They Whisked Me Up and Took Me In?
About whisk. First a little whiskey, and then I'll whisk.
Okay,
here we go. They whisked me up. They took me in, unzipped me from my pesky skin, moistened me with their misty breath, dissolved my troubles. They burned my regrets. They cut the strings that were holding me back, lit the fuse on my rocket jetpack, gave me new shoes so I'd run real fast. They hopped me up, I don't know where to begin. It was helium, turmeric, obsidian, and oxygen. They released me from this sticky trap, woke me from my imagined past. I bounced once or twice. Then I hit the ground, my wheels caught, the speed of thought away without a sound.
Thank you, Alex. That was a wonderful reading. And now, Major, can you please tell us, was that poem about A, the day they thawed out my body in 2142? B, a modern day Humpty Dumpty? C, leaving my nutritionist's office? Or D, 50 ways to blame your mother?
All right, all seem good choices. I think I am going to go with C, leaving my nutritionist's office.
All right, Major Dude has chosen C. Is he correct, Alex? And what is the correct answer?
Well, leaving my nutritionist's office sounds so much like a Paul Simon song that I gotta love that. But no, it's a modern day Humpty Dumpty because, you know, oh, by the way, he was pushed.
Oh.
Yeah, that's that's the theory. He was pushed. He was watching the chemtrails. I don't know.
Not Humpty Hump.
And then they're gluing him back together. They're giving him the right ingredients, and so he's on his way. We're all a little cracked and falling off a wall. And
Yes, we are, Alex. Yes, we are.
And in a very modern way. Thank you, Alex. Unfortunately, Major, that means you lose 200 points. Everybody is in the negative, so I give you all a thumbs up.
Reverse polarity, quick.
Moving on.
That's quick.
Offred, the board is yours.
Okay, let's go with I found myself laughing inappropriately again for 100.
All right. And look who it is. It's Alex Henderson once again.
Oh my God, do I have enough oxygen?
My God.
My God,
Alex,
I'm like just...
Alex, please read us your poem. In the category of I found myself laughing inappropriately again.
Chuckling, sinister, laughing. I found myself laughing inappropriately. Again, a slight twitch of the lips. That's how it begins. Soon the whole estate of my face, producing only tears and grins. Something you said, something I heard, something serious and dread. Something I found absurd. I found myself laughing inappropriately again, and laughing with such force that you shut the door and went to bed, and I stayed on the porch. I found myself laughing inappropriately again, laughing like a cry for help, because you have gone with your serious friend, and I am laughing by myself.
Aww.
That was so sweet, Alex.
So sad and sweet.
Sad and sweet and sumptuous. Okay, Alfred, please tell us, is Alex's poem about A, another failed Botox treatment, B, listening in on someone else's conversation in a coffee house, C, a lone hyena roams, or D, why are you standing on the porch?
I heard rejection in that poem. Someone was leaving someone else because of their inappropriate emotions. And I think there was a porch. So I'm going to go with D. Why are you standing on the porch?
All right, Alex, is Offred correct?
Yeah, but first I want to talk about the inappropriate thing, because I've been talking with my therapist, and the word inappropriate, it was just like, you know, can I have some more zinc right now? I think I need a little more zinc.
Doing a commercial for zinc.
It's molybdenum. This is brought to you by molybdenum. And this thing about porches and porch lights and distance and time and whether I'm just a good person, and then the whole response, yeah, you're right.
Alex, the thing is, I've got 100 points on the line here, so let's move on to find out if I'm right.
You are right. You are so beautifully right, and I hope this 100 points just brings you up somewhere close to the surface.
Congratulations, Alfred. You win 100 points. That brings you up to negative 100. And you're in the lead.
Yay!
Moving on to Ernie. Ernie, please choose a category and your wager.
I'm going to say Blues with a Feeling. Blues with a Feeling, that's what I have today for 200.
All right. Oh, and look. It's our first bummer box of the evening. Unfortunately, Ernie, that means you miss any chance of earning points this round. Not only that, but you must now sit through 30 seconds of Ree's younger sister, Kristen, reading a surprise piece of literature. Oh, and did I mention she can't stand poetry? This should be wonderfully excruciating. Kristen, are you with us?
Yes.
Yay!
What is this?
Kristen, it is my understanding that poetry is not interesting to you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. For the most part.
Well, it's so refreshing to hear. Can you please choose surprise letter number 1?
Oh, okay.
Which is a letter you wrote to your mother in the 3rd grade.
No, it's not. I wrote this?
According to your mother, you did.
you did.
This is me.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember this. This makes no fucking sense. All right. To Mom, here I didn't write this. Here I am. I've climbed over the gate. But look, this is weird. Look, wait. There are flowers of purple and bluebirds of gray. There's a unicorn loose and a bright sunny day. That sounds like Violet. I don't think I've ever talked about unicorns in my life.
But you were in 3rd grade, honey.
Yeah, but I didn't like unicorns in 3rd grade.
It was you.
3rd grade, there's still hope for unicorns in 3rd grade.
This is bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
I have never, ever talked about unicorns. Ever.
You want to tell them
I
about
saw
that
you
one
wearing a unicorn hat.
that dinner we had that time when that's all you talked about was unicorns? I was like, would you stop
That's in your dreams that we had dinner together.
Oh, you want me to... But the unicorn part wasn't.
It was a unicorn of your dreams.
Okay, well,
Thank you so much for that incredible reading, Kristen. We'll be moving on now.
Good thing.
All right, the board is now over to Major Dude. Please choose your category and your wager.
Sure thing. I would like the moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour for 300, please.
Oh, and look, it's our first poet Noah of the evening. This is where the other poets get 1 minute to debate and come to a consensus on what that poem even means. And then you, the contestant, will be asked to agree or disagree with their final decision. But before we begin, I should mention that today's Poets Know It is sponsored by smartphones. Smartphones, the perfect distraction during a long poetry reading. Now, all right, contestant, I hope you're ready. Let's reveal who will be reading. Oh, and look who it is, Julie Valin. Can you please read us your poem in the chosen category of The Moon Rose Up Over the Hills at a Ghostly Hour?
Why, yes, I will. The moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour. She never came back. There was a spot on the lake where the moon did this trick. Long after it rose for everyone else, it peeked over the spikes of pines with orange eyes to make sure all was as it should be, and then lingered there. But you had to be empty like a shell to find it, so light and carrying nothing. You could float for the rest of your life in its deepest, darkest center, where no one but the moon could reach her, the quiet lapping around her ears.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, Julie. Thank you so much. I'm glad I don't have to guess that one, because I was busy watching reruns of The Sopranos on my smartphone.
Beautiful, Julie.
It brought tears to my eyes, Julie.
Yeah, it was beautiful, Julie.
The intent, that's the intent.
All right, poets, you now have 1 minute to debate what that poem even means. Clarity, you start. Good luck and go.
Well, I heard tricks, I heard spike, I heard lap, and I heard abandonment and not coming back and wandering off. I think it's a little girl that runs away and gets addicted to heroin, gets the spike in her arm, and she starts turning tricks. The tricks that the moon played on the lake, the tricks. I think it's actually the girl turning tricks, and then the lap becoming a stripper and lap dancing, and then it's not very hopeful. I don't find a lot of hope in it, so I'm gonna say it's about a little girl that runs away, becomes a stripper, and gets addicted to heroin. And I wish that I could find something more lighthearted.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so, Clarity. It's more metaphorical. It's the lapping,
Yes.
the cat. It's about the moon putting her legs behind her head. That's what it's about. It's metaphorical.
So Moon was a stripper name?
Maybe.
No, I think it's about a young girl, and she puts spikes in her ears, and she puts one in her nose, and she goes out into the moon, and she's dancing out of the moon. She suddenly sees the ridge, and all this spike metaphorical aspects come up, and she puts on her spike heels and goes dancing down the street to the local bar.
And it's the moon. The little girl is just sitting there on the beach with a 50-50 bar, half orange and a half vanilla. And the moon's coming up, and the moon is only talking to her. And the moon's saying, it's all okay. Don't bother with all this noise, and you're not going to be a stripper or anything like that. You're really just going to be okay and have a pretty normal life and maybe have some chickens.
I feel like maybe, Alex, you've heard the moon say you're not going to be a stripper. It's okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something you might have heard.
Well, I look at the moon and I see all the scars all over it, and it's like all the cliches of everybody talking about the moon's romance, and the moon gets a little tired of that sometimes, and the moon just wants a little moon makeover, and just like, I'm tired of being the center of all this romantic idealism, werewolf stuff. And
you think it's about a moon makeover, like an A&E document, like it's like an A&E show?
The moon would like to be boring for a little while. The moon rose over the hill and just said, relax, everyone, about the moon.
All right, poets, time is up. And yes, that was only 1 minute.
Oh.
All right, Clarity. We need your final decision. What does that poem even mean?
Geez, man, I thought I was really set in my thought process, but maybe it's my own dark negative bias. I'm going to say it's about, I think Alex made some good points. I think that it's about a new network TV series in which planets get makeovers.
All right. Major Dude, do you agree or disagree with the poets?
I'm going to go ahead and agree with that. Probably about new television program.
Did you say agree?
He agreed.
He agrees. Julie, can you let us know, is he correct?
So close, but so far away. Alex, though, man, you're just like, I see you. You're right on par. But nah. No, it's about wanting to find a secret escape where only I can be adored.
Wow.
Oh. Well,
I was
unfortunately,
close.
Major.
I
So
was
close, you guys.
Unfortunately,
You have,
Major,
like, your own
lose
planet.
points.
Yeah, my own planet. That's a good point. Okay.
You're doing well, though, at negative 600.
Hey, he's in the lead. He's in the lead.
He's in the lead going the other direction.
That's better than nothing.
All right, we're coming back around to Offred Rhyme. Could you please choose your category and your wager?
Let's go with the moon again. Rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour for 200.
For 200. Oh, and look, it's our first host poem of the evening.
We have to listen to it.
You do. Because let's face it, there are two types of poets in the world. Those that love poetry and those that love only their own poetry.
Hey, Quip, I just noticed that if you put AGE after host, it would be hostage poem.
Very apropos.
Apropos.
Very apropos.
Apropos.
That's
What's
my
my
favorite
favorite
type of pie. Apropos pie.
I feel tongue-tied.
Here's my poem in the category of The Moon Rose Up Over the Hills at a Ghostly Hour for Offred. The moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour. I forgot to take a shower. I like movies by Ron Howard. In school, they called me a coward, but that was just because I used to spit on them and then run away. Tell me, Offred, is that poem about? A. Ron Howard. B. Things that rhyme with Ron Howard. C. Who is Ron Howard? Or D. Balky from the TV show Perfect Strangers.
I heard shower. I heard coward. Those kind of rhyme with Howard. I might even call them off rhyme. So I'm going to go with B. Things that rhyme with Ron Howard.
B. Things that rhyme with Ron Howard. You are correct, Alfred. Hooray for you. You earned 200 points, and that puts you, the first person in the positive, on the board.
Nicely done, Alfred.
If I've heard that you've been positive for a couple of things.
All right. Coming back around to Ernie McLeavy. Ernie, the board's yours.
All right, I'm going to go with it would become the thing he clutched for 200.
Okay. Oh, and look who it is for the first time tonight.
Woo! Yeah.
She's a multi-talented, multifaceted, multitasking moongazer with a fondness for multimedia and poetry about death. It's Ree Winders. Ree, tell me, everyone is dying to know, are aliens real and do they live among us?
Aliens are an internal state of being, Quip.
Oh, look at that alien go.
Well, you put me in my place. Hey, Ree, you know, every time I hear one of your wonderful poems, I can't help but feel a burning question deep down inside. What the hell is she talking about? But perhaps the contestants will know. Can you please read us your poem in the category of It Would Become the Thing He Clutched for 200?
Yes. Yes, I will. It would become the thing he clutched closest to his chest, his pounding heart the irregular pummel of that mesh of muscle fibers, his many false starts, the contorted control of that chakra that just couldn't open. It began as the one thing he would let go of, his soiled liver washing away the ill will of all his failed relations, his empty mind directing its performers in that fleeting play on his ego's sullen stage.
Wonderful, Ree. Thank you so much, Ernie. Is that poem about A. Frankenstein goes on a cleanse? B. A flock of seagulls drunk on a beach, both the band and the birds? C. Lamenting the eulogy at my own funeral? Or D. That time you threw up your french fries and gravy after a bender?
Well, I feel kind of personally attacked by that poem, and I'm surprised that's not that's not one of the answers up there.
But it was actually about you. It was about
see,
you.
how come it's not a choice? I mean, oh man, I'm gonna say lamenting the eulogy at my own funeral.
All right, Ree, he chose C. Can you give us the true answer?
Clearly, Ernie, you attended my funeral because you are correct.
You earned yourself 200 points, and you are now at 0.
Yeah.
That's better than a minus.
All right, Major Dude, let's get you some points.
Yeah.
The board is yours.
All right, so let's go with It Would Become the Thing He Clutched for 400.
All right, pulling out all the stops. And we have Alex Henderson. Alex, we're so excited to have you back. Can you please read us your poem?
This is my fun.
It would become the thing he clutched for 400.
It would be the thing he clucked closest to his chest?
Yes, please read us one, as if you were a chicken.
I am a chicken, but I'm a brave chicken, and I'm come from a long line of dinosaurs, and I know my stature is not the same as it used to be back in my Tyrannosaurus days, but that's my lineage.
Brave chicken, brave chicken. chicken, brave chicken, brave
23andMe chicken to Tyrannosaurus. It would become the thing he clutched closest to his chest, smoothing his feathers after the storm. He looked through the holes, the missing pins, the lacuna. The powerful flight of this Rossignol, strong, devoid of grace, flushed from the sickled grain, he alights the sky, without a care, incomplete. Of course, he would grow another iridescent coat. He always did. What's a few buckshot holes anyway? Micro-meteoroids of lead. He'd dare again the random hail. It would become the thing he clutched closest to his chest, the near misses, so close to his heart. The hurricane forces spinning air full, a wind field of nails and limbs, rising headfirst past clouds of splinters and laughter. He held nothing to his chest.
Oh, I felt that run down my backbone.
I felt it in my heart.
Gosh, the epitome of the game right there. What does that poem even mean?
What does that poem even mean? Let's ask Major Dude. He's got some serious wager up on the board. Is Alex's poem about A, death of your favorite chicken? B, narrow misses, I will grow new feathers. C, the chicken that decided not to cross the road. Or D, sometimes a hard rain's gonna fall.
All right, I am going to go with E, narrow misses. I will grow new feathers.
We're from the same flock. I can see it. We've got the same basic feathered background, and you know, you get plucked once or twice. You always feel it, but you will fly again. So yes, you are right. Narrow.
He is correct.
Right.
That gives you 400 points. And you are catching up with our leader, Alfred Rhyme. The board comes back around to you.
Let's go with blues with a feeling. That's what I have today. 300.
For 300. Oh, and look, it's another host poem.
Again?
Must we?
We must. It's written in the script.
Oh,
sucks.
Hey, if you just put a G in front of it, it'd be a ghost poem.
Here is my poem, Blues with a Feeling, That's What I Have Today, for 300. Blues with a Feeling, That's What I Have Today. Mother, may I? Yes, you may. Red Rover, send Jimmy on over. Duck, duck, goose on the cliffs of Dover. Hide and seek, tag you're it. Looks like this poem's a real piece of nonsense. I'm not quite sure about that ending. Anyway, Alfred, is that poem about A, none of the above. B, none of your business. C, none in a convent. Or D, none of the below.
Well, none of these answers make any sense at all, so I'm going to go with D, none of the below.
You're correct! It's none of the below!
my God, they're getting good.
Look out, she's gonna burn below!
You just earned yourself 300 points. You're at a plus value of 400. We're moving on to Ernie. Ernie, you have a chance to catch up right now. The board is yours.
I'm going to go with I found myself laughing inappropriately again for 300.
All right.
Oh, Ernie, I'm so sorry.
I feel like you're doing this on purpose.
It's another bummer box. And again, contestant, you will miss any chance of earning points this round. And Kristen will once again serenade you with a surprise piece of literature. Kristen, are you still with us?
Yeah.
How are you enjoying the show?
How are you enjoying the show?
I've been reading the whole time, so I don't really give a shit.
Well, thank you so much for your incredible support. Now, can you please open surprise letter number 3? You will read as a poem the lyrics to AC/DC's You Shook Me All Night Long.
Okay. I was reading the wrong one. She was a fast machine. She kept her motor clean.
Oh, yeah.
She was the best damn woman that I've ever seen. She had the sightless eyes, telling me no lies, knocking me out with those American thighs.
Oh, yeah.
Taking more than a share, had me fighting for air. She told me to come, but I was already there. Because the walls started shaking, the earth was quaking, my mind was aching, and we were making it. And you shook me all night long. Yeah, you shook me all night long.
Whoa, making it.
Whoa, that was profound.
They were making it.
Shivers.
I mean, deep,
Shivers.
Shivers.
as in throat.
Like all AC/DC songs.
All right, thank you, Ernie. We move on to Major
You
Dude.
don't thank me?
No, you don't get anything.
Did I say thank you, Ernie? I meant to say thank you, Kristen.
Ernie.
We're moving on to Major Dude. Major, please choose from the board.
All right. I'm going to try to keep making up some ground here. Let's go the moon
Some brown.
at a ghostly hour for 400.
The moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour for 400. We have... It's Rewinders. Ree, could you please read us your poem in the category of The Moon Rose Up Over the Hills at a Ghostly Hour?
All right. The moon rose up over the hills at a ghostly hour. My demons spread their slippery legs like buttered illusion, a toast to the delusion that allows thought to turn away from action. Quartered by thirds is what I heard. Take me there with a tick, not a talk, to the tip of midnight. Point me in the direction of Mars, cracking eggs down the baker's legs, till they drizzle south, land with a sizzle into the arms of Satan's pesky breakdown.
Oh. All right, Major. You heard the poet. Can you answer the question? Does that poem mean A, something really erotic? B, deviled eggs in diners? C, curiosity of how we divided up time? Or D, sexual fetishes as they relate to breakfast?
They all seem to have some validity to them. Let's go with, I think I'm going to go with D, sexual fetishes as they relate to breakfast.
Yes.
All right. Sounds like you may know something about that. Ree, is he correct?
And ask again later.
I always thought brunch was more of the sexual meal.
All right, the real answer is curiosity of how we divided up time. I can never trust these 8-balls.
Oh, darn it. Looks like you lose this time.
Now I'm gonna lose.
Back down to 600.
He's gonna lose.
But you still get another thumbs up from me.
Let's stay positive. Let's stay positive for Major Dude. He still might come back.
He could come back around.
Major, you
That was
can
a
come
good
back around.
guess.
Pull it
That was a
out.
good guess.
Yeah.
Here we are. We're coming back around. Again to Alfred. Our leader, Alfred.
The board's yours.
I think this game is mine to win as long as I don't lose too many points. So let's just go with they whisked me up and took me in for 100.
All right. Once again, we have a Poets Know It.
Poets know it.
Alfred's hitting all the hot spots.
Once again, sponsored by smartphones. Like a divine presence, always with you, always watching you. Smartphones. All right. Same as before, poet will read the poem, then the other poets will debate the answer. You will need to agree or disagree. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. Let's see who will be reading. And it is Rewinders. Ree, can you please read us your poem in the category of They Wished Me Up and Took Me In?
Yes. Yes, I can do that. All right. They whisked me up, they took me in, unzipped me from this pesky skin, muted my muse and squelched my fuse until love began to seep in. A trick of their trade, green slime on parade, I gallantly bared my soul, doubled that dare and lost all my hair, until time turned me back to mold.
Oh, thank you so much, Ree. That was a delight to listen to. And do you know what is also a delight to listen to? Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. That's what I was just listening to on my smartphone.
Humpty Hump.
Humpty Hump.
Gonna do the dump.
All right, poets, you have 1 minute on the board. This time, Alex Henderson, you will start. What does that poem even mean? Let's go around. Good luck and go.
Well, it was about time that God spent his apprenticeship as a custodian. And first, it was really the metaphor about sweeping and the whisk broom. And he was really careful, or she was really careful to not sweep too hard and throw things away, because I knew that all bacteria and dust one day would sprout into all humanity.
Ooh.
Double Dare.
That was far out, man.
Dare. Game shows. It's about game shows.
I think it was about her past love affair that she had to sweep out the door because it was causing her too much misery, and tears were flowing down her cheeks. And she was so happy that she tasted the saltiness then because everything was gone.
Well, wait, what?
Maybe it was her past love affair with Mark Summers, the host of Double Dare.
Can you repeat that, Chris? No, I heard something about. I felt something about like an aging Brad Pitt playing the sequel to or Benjamin Button or something like that. That's what I got from that.
All right, poets, time is up. Alex Henderson, we need a final answer from the poets. What does that poem even mean?
Well, that poem really means to be read.
Speechless.
Ree, what the hell does that poem mean?
Oh, you think I know?
I'm going with God.
Like she knows.
I'm going with the custodian, God as a custodian.
All right, God as a custodian. Contestant, do you agree or disagree with their decision?
I do think that poetry is best understood in a multiple choice format with agree or disagree. So I can just be on the record for that. I was getting a real mortality vibe from that poem, so I'm going to disagree. I think it's about time turns me back to mold, you know, the carpe diem kind of thing.
All right, tell me, Ree, is the contestant correct or incorrect?
Well, the contestant is both incorrect and correct, as in she's incorrect with what it's about, but she's correct in disagreeing with the poets trying to decide what's correct. So she's actually correct.
She's correct.
What?
Fucking crushing it.
Hey, can I use that logic in my next argument?
Alfred, you earn 100 points. And we are moving on. Ernie, let's get you some points up there on the board. It's yours.
I'm going to go with Blues with a Feeling. That's what I have today for 400.
For 400, we have Michael Clarity.
Yeah.
Can you please read us your poem in the category of Blues with a Feeling? That's what I have today.
Blues with a Feeling. That's what I have today. Glued to the ceiling. Guess I'll have to stay. No buzz for the evening, man. This is getting kind of lame. For those more discerning, my shame is on display. the food for the feeding. I can smell it miles away. Trapped in a flight so fleeting, here and gone this way. I used to muse so freely, man, once thy summers play. Am I not like thee? Do these thoughts take death away?
Magnificent and powerful. Thank you, Michael Clarity. Ernie, let's see if you can get 400 points. Is that poem about A, things that rhyme with day? B, relationship to self? C, trapped in a perpetual Zoom meeting? Or D, the lament and subsequent musings of a single fly trapped on flypaper contemplating the absurdities of his own mortality while creating allusions to an 18th century William Blake poem?
Well, I gotta say, I think C and D are actually the same answer. Yeah.
That was a good guess. Good guess.
But I'm gonna go with D.
You're gonna go with D. Michael Clarity. Is he correct?
From what I know of the contestant, it's not the first time he's gone with D. I'll just say that. And whether or not that's the right answer remains a different conversation. If we look at the options on the board here, we understand that, yeah, I said some words that rhyme with day, but really what I'm saying is how those words work in relation to not only myself, but to a single fly trapped on flypaper contemplating the absurdities of his own mortality.
He's moving up. He's moving up.
Moving up, he's coming up behind Alfred Major.
Now come up.
Wait a minute.
Don't turn around.
Oh, this thing's not on. I'm sorry.
All right, Major. It's your turn.
All right, let's go with they whisked me up and took me in for 400, please.
For 400. And it's Julie Valin. Julie.
He's literally picked every one of my poems. That's funny.
I know, at this point, Julie, I think I can blame you for my score.
Awesome. Yeah. It's nice to have somebody to blame like that. Yeah.
It is. It's very sweet. Very sweet.
All right, Julie, can you please read us your poem in the category of They Whisked Me Up and Took Me In for 400 points?
Okay, crossing fingers. They whisked me up, they took me in, unzipped me from this pesky skin, and by they, I mean the universe. Not God, God no. And by the universe, I mean the earth, the cool, dark depths of it that sift through your fingers like so many directions you think your life will go. And by sift, I mean looking for love in empty night after empty night. And by fingers, I mean broken hearts. And by broken hearts, I mean the crescent moon, so high up, so far away, still glowing right through me, lighting me up.
Oh, Julie.
That was just so sweet.
Yeah, this is so sweet.
Incredible.
Can we just take a moment and not make fun of this?
Let's not make fun of it. In fact, I think we should just end the game now.
That's what my doctor says.
All right,
My prom
That's the game's end.
That's my prom
That's what your prom dates.
And I'll laugh at this.
What, prostate? What?
All right, Major Dude. This is up to you. Is Julie's poem about A? By poetry, I mean advertising. B, God's microscope. C, mining for heartbreak. Or D, finding solace in the moon no matter how broken we are.
Right. I'm gonna go with B, God's microscope.
B, God's microscope. We all have our fingers crossed for you, Major Dude. Julie, What's the correct answer?
Can I just go with B? It's so close.
You can go with whatever you want because you're the poet. And you decide what that poem means.
You know it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like almost so spot on that I am gonna, yeah, he's absolutely correct. God's microscope.
Julie, thank you.
That's an up, Major Dude.
All right, he's moving up.
And now you are only at minus 200.
Wow.
We've got 2 more on the board. Offred, the board, it goes to you.
Let's try. It would become the thing he clutched for 300.
All right. Oh, and it's our last poet note of the evening. This time sponsored by Smart Speakers. That creepy thing in your living room, listening to everything you say. Smart Speakers. Speakers for dumb people. All right. Offred, same rules as last time. Poet reads, the others guess. You agree or disagree? Are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
I should hope so. And who is reading? This time it's Chris Olander. Chris!
Oh, you haven't forgotten me. I'm still poet laureate. All right? Still poet laureate? I think I am. Yes.
Can you please read us your poem in the category of it would become the thing he clutched?
Here we go. Minor details out in space. Here we go. It would become the thing he clutched closest to his chest in his time of forlorn grief, standing in the rain, head drooping with regret of all the words worked from his soul's brain. How could this thing happen? He stared across the moon-streaked street at the fading sparks glimmering further from what once fueled his desire. The gift of his dreams melting from his arms. Her eyes walking away with some random, quick phrase, snatching the treasured jewels possibility, his lifeline's best hands bid.
Oh, well, Chris, that was just incredible. I've never listened so hard in my life, but not as hard as the NSA listens through my smart speaker. All right, poets. Once again, you have 1 minute on the board. Please tell us, what does that poem even mean? This time we're going to start with Rewinders. You start. Good luck and go.
I you know what? I honestly was barely listening. Okay, it was definitely about peanut butter whiskey and
I can help you. I was listening.
Birds licking it up off the ground.
And Clarity was listening, so what?
She's doing an impression of a bird licking peanut butter whiskey up off the ground.
And that's what that poem was even about. Anybody else?
Yeah, I think it was about, it's pretty obvious that it was about the fiery ending to a first date at the claw machine when he was at maybe it was a diner, maybe it was a gas station, and he tried to win the little stuffed giraffe from the center of the claw machine for his date.
I'm feeling it, yeah.
He put his coin in, and immediately the machine erupted into flames, and him in his reluctant selfishness saved himself and watched not only the giraffe, but his date burn that night.
Oh, yeah, because they were all covered in peanut butter whiskey. So that's why they burned so easily.
That's what
ignited, yeah.
I thought it was like getting in line for something really important and standing there, and then the person with the velvet rope, and they either let you in, they don't, and they finally let you in, and you make your way, and it takes about 2 hours, and you get the number, and you do your thing, and you get through there, and then the door's all brightly lit, and you walk through the door, and you realize there's nothing on the other side, and you accept that basically life is dressing up to get through the door where there's nothing on the other side.
Or there's a bird licking peanut butter whiskey on the other side. That's possible too, right?
Yeah.
All right. Ree, what is your final decision?
I'm pretty sure that it's about being in line, opening the rope, and then taking the claw, clutching the giraffe, and then everybody just ignites because they are completely unable to tolerate such a situation.
And they're hammered on peanut butter whiskey.
Exactly. That's it.
Okay.
And molybdenum.
Contestant.
And zinc.
Are the poets correct?
I wasn't really getting a unified answer from the poets there. Some of them seemed correct. I heard a lot of grief, regret, lost possibilities. Some of those accounts sounded good. I'm going to go with yes, they were correct, but not Brie, the peanut butter whiskey, no.
You're going to agree with the poets.
On the whole, I agree with some of the poets.
I mean, how can you go wrong?
Chris Olander, can you please tell us the real answer?
The real answer, let's see. I think, I can't remember what the poem means. But no.
Sometimes we play the game ourselves.
Correct.
She was correct.
Yes.
So why do you sound so surprised? Sometimes I'm correct.
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how about that? Alfred, that means you win. Some points. You're now up to 800. All right, we have one category left. Ernie, it's up to you.
But I can't win.
He can't win.
That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
Hey, you can come in second place.
With a
I think that tells you something about poetry.
I think it tells you something about our game.
Yeah, it's rigged.
And it also tells you something about Ernie, because Ernie looks like it's our last
You're setting me up. You're setting me up because I'm from the East Coast. I see how this game is going.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct.
But lucky for you, Ree's sister Kristen is waiting to serenade you with one more surprise piece of literature. Kristen, are you still alive?
Yeah. I'm here.
Open the envelope and read to us another letter you wrote to your mother in the 3rd grade.
I still don't believe this. All right, hold on.
Oh,
It's getting kind of dark in this room. All right. Dear...
everywhere.
It's getting dark.
Dear Mom, I love you. I couldn't do without you. Looks like... Oh, I thought it was a question mark. To Mom, I love you. The giraffe is God's special comic miracle. I don't know what that means. The world looks so different upside down.
Oh.
The sky is on the ground, and the grass is in the sky. You're never too old to... Why do I have this in quotes? You're never too old to spy, except maybe if you're over 50, you might fall off the fire escape, but you can spy around the ground.
What?
I don't know what the hell I was writing about, if
That was
this is
beautiful.
even me, but that's fine.
It was a metaphorical diamond.
It was you.
Words of wisdom, Kristen. Thank you for ending the show on such a beautiful note. And Alfred Rhyme, you are our undisputed champion, and that brings us to the end of our show. Alfred, you'll be taking home with you the complete works of Randolph Shakespeare, William Shakespeare's younger illiterate brother. The New York Times calls it a horrible time for the whole family. And now thanks to all of our lovely contestants for playing, and of course, our incredible panel of poets, the Poetry Crashers from Nevada County, California. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more poetry fun. I'm your host, Quip Winkle. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time on What's That Poem Even Mean? Read on!